First at 4, water woes in Macomb County. The daily routines are changing for thousands of residents, what they're going through and how long it might last. New focus on the backpack. The Oxford school shooter brought to class new testimony on how he thought his urge to kill could have been stopped. And Kim is working on your forecast.
Well, it's a little bit hazy out there right now. We still have the smoke from those Canadian wildfires, so we'll talk about air quality and also a warm-up on the way.
Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News First at 4 starts now.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Karen Drew. First at 4. This mess over in Macomb County is from a water main break, and that has 5 communities under boil water advisories right now. The Great Lakes Water Authority says it's isolated a break on a 36-inch transmission main over on 24 Mile Road near North Avenue. This morning, many residents woke up to low water pressure or no water at all. While water has been restored, the drop in pressure brings up some safety concerns. That means residents cannot use tap water without boiling it first, and that's going to last for at least 48 hours. The affected communities are Chesterfield Township, Lenox Township, Macomb Township, New Haven, and the city of Rochester. Water must be boiled for at least a minute before drinking, cooking, or brushing your teeth. Some fire departments were giving out bottled water. We spoke with residents who woke up to a crisis and are trying to roll with that inconvenience.
It wasn't something that I really wanted to wake up to this morning. But, I had to deal with what I had to deal with, and I'm just grateful that they're able to pass out water for us.
We do have water back. We just can't drink it. And obviously, we've been advised of the boil water advisories.
The Water Authority was expected to do its first round of water testing this afternoon, which means the advisories could be lifted by Thursday. We'll keep you posted. We'll have another live update for you when you join us for Local 4 News at 5. Now, on to the Miller hearing for the confessed Oxford high school shooter. The goal is to determine if he might be eligible for parole at some point because of his age when he committed the crime. Today, the defense revealed some of the thoughts allegedly going through the shooter's mind just before the tragedy. Sean Lay has been following the testimony and joins us now with the latest. Sean?
Anyone connected to this case, today's testimony very hard to hear because we had only one person on the stand today all day long, Karen. That was a psychologist, a well-known psychologist who spent hours with this shooting digging into his mental health. And some of the things the shooter revealed to him, how he expected Oxford school officials to actually prevent the shooting moments before he went through with it. Take a look.
And Ethan said, for the first time in his life, he felt relieved.
Stunning testimony from psychologist Dr. Colin King. King spent hours speaking with the Oxford high school shooter following the shooting to do a deep dive into the teen's mental health. King is referring to the very day of the shooting. The teen brought to the Oxford high school offices, his parents told to come meet with them, teachers seeing disturbing writings on his schoolwork, depicting shootings, blood, and the words, "The voices won't stop, help me." The doctor says the teen told him he was certain school officials would simply check his backpack to find the handgun, and he would be relieved that his urge to kill would be over. But that did not happen. A school official even commenting that the shooter's backpack was so heavy.
He said, "This is heavy. What do you have in here? Bricks?" And then Ethan said, all he had to do was just unzip that backpack, but he didn't.
Very difficult to hear. The Crumley, the shooter, is sitting there in the office waiting for officials to find the gun, the bag handed back to him. We know the rest is this horrible tragedy. Look, Karen, this hearing just wrapped up for the day. Today was day 3. It was supposed to wrap up today. One more witness will be called later this month, so no decision on this. But coming up at 5 o'clock, the jail is right to our left here. This is where the shooter's been housed ever since this shooting. And we've heard some about prosecutors' concerns about his behavior behind bars here. We saw some videos about that behavior played in court today. We're going to show those to you coming up at 5 o'clock. Much more also on this deep dive the doctor took into the shooter's mental health. Back to you.
So hard to hear that. All they had to do was unzip that backpack, Sean. We'll see you back here tonight at 5. Macomb County prosecutors have charged a man in a random assault case involving a brief chase and shots fired. Investigators say Dakari Farmer entered a store in Roseville yesterday and sexually assaulted the owner by touching her inappropriately. A second victim chased Farmer out of the store. Police say the suspect tried to ride off on a bike, but also fired his gun several times. Farmer was arrested and arraigned. He faces a handful of charges and is being held on $30,000 cash bond and faces a mental health assessment, which is a standard request in Macomb County in gun crimes. Breaking news on criminal charges against a former Republican candidate for Attorney General here in Michigan. Matt DePerno has been charged in connection with accessing and tampering with voting machines in the 2020 presidential election. Court officials say he was arraigned remotely this afternoon. The charges come from a special prosecutor appointed by Attorney General Dana Nessel, who beat DePerno in the 2022 election. He's denied any wrongdoing. Meantime, there is more pressure today on Shelby Township Clerk Stanley Grott, who's also facing criminal charges. The Michigan Association of Municipal Clerks has now imposed sanctions on the embattled clerk. He's charged with several felonies linked to an alleged false elector scheme that was connected to the 2020 presidential election. He has denied any wrongdoing, but the association says all of his membership rights have been suspended as the criminal case moves forward. The state has already stripped him of any duties pertaining to future elections until the case is resolved. All right, let's check in on your first forecast. Some of you might see some isolated showers, but no reason to change your evening plans. It looks like it's going to be a nice summer night out there, right, Kim?
It is incredibly isolated. I mean, last night's a good example. There were just a couple of cities that saw some sprinkles, the rest of Metro Detroit dry, and we'll have that same situation tonight. Temps are a little cooler than normal for this time of year. We should be at 83 degrees by this time of the day. It's only 74 in Mount Clemens, 76 in Pontiac, upper 70s out at Metro. We'll see if we crack that 80-degree mark in the next hour. We might top it at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, looks like we'll end the day in the upper 70s in many areas. But there's a little bit of warmth out down to our south and west, where it's 87 in Kansas City, 85 in St. Louis, and by Thursday we'll see temperatures back into the mid to even upper 80s. But until then, another day where we'll get temps in the low to mid 80s with some sunshine. We'll talk about our next chance for rain coming up in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you, Kim. We are tracking some big celebrations for two local institutions. Many of you have grown up within the Metro Detroit area, and you're probably connected to some happy memories on this one. Let's start in Oakland County, where the Lions, the Tigers, the Penguins, and Otters hang out. The Detroit Zoo opened an hour early this morning to kick off the celebration of its 95th anniversary. There will be a ton of fun events and special merchandise during the month of August, plus a special concert on Sunday. If you want more info, just go to the zoo's website to look for more details. Now, in Wayne County, a longtime German restaurant is also celebrating a really big milestone. The Dakota Inn Rathskeller is Detroit's first, opened back in August of 1933. That's 90 years ago. Well, it did reopen, and it will be doing that tomorrow after being closed for a summer break. The restaurant is known for its combo plate of bratwurst, knotwurst, warm German potato salad, and some sauerkraut. I have to tell you, I've been there, and it is delicious. The anniversary is today, but the reopening kicks off with a special lunch service tomorrow. If you got time, swing on by. Well, this month also kicks off a push to educate more people about the importance of organ donations, especially among minorities. And that's because it's National Minority Donor Awareness Month. Paula Tutman here to talk to us a little bit about why this month puts an emphasis on minorities when we know organ donors of every ethnicity are really needed, Paula.
Yeah, absolutely. More people need to sign up to be organ donors. But when you talk about that micro focus on minorities, I want you to meet Michael Love. He is a double lung transplant recipient, and he says he knows why he's been given a third chance at life. He wants to talk to you.
The pulmonologist told me that my only recourse was a double lung transplant. Without it, you've only got 2 years to live.
Michael Love is thrice as fortunate. Not only did he get a double lung transplant, but after contracting pneumonia, he was actually able to get a second double lung transplant. And today, coming up on his 5th year anniversary at life, his mission to get others to understand the need to become organ donors.
When somebody puts a time limit on it, that's a game changer.
Matches are made across ethnic and gender lines for heart, lungs, pancreas, and liver, but kidneys, they can be tricky. And because of the need to match the antigens, minorities stand a better chance of matching families withstanding with similar ethnicities.
The majority of the people waiting on transplants in Michigan are people waiting on kidneys. And out of those kidneys, approximately 60% are African American or people of color.
In short, the lives of more minorities could be saved if more minorities signed up to be organ donors.
Because of diseases such as diabetes and high blood pressure, those two diseases can lead to end-stage organ failure, especially end-stage kidney disease.
Ramona Chapman is with Minority Organ Tissue Transplant Education Program.
Having more persons sign up from those particular ethnic communities, African American, Hispanic communities, means that people will have a higher opportunity to get a better match from someone in their own ethnic community.
To be here right now, it's a level of gratitude that I cannot put in words.
There are historic injustices that plague the African American psyche that make people of color less likely to trust the medical system. The horrors of what was done in the Tuskegee syphilis experiment, in which 600 men were duped into being injected with syphilis for human experimentation. Continued mistrust in a medical system that has sometimes shown a negative bias against poor people, black people, and therefore the double jeopardy of being poor and black. Michael says part of him being blessed with not just a second chance, but a third chance, is to educate people about the here and now and to change minds with knowledge.
Sign up. Someone's waiting on you.
Yeah, I love the way he said that. And if you are curious to know more, open house in Ann Arbor, Gift of Life, Michigan. At 2 o'clock, you'll meet donors, you'll meet donor families, you'll actually meet recipients, and you'll be able to talk to experts to get real, today information about possibly becoming an organ donor. Back to you.
So important. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. Well, an iconic name in retail making a comeback, and loyal customers should be able to score some rewards. We're going to explain that coming up. Also, some of you might be holding on for dear life if you try this new ride over at Cedar Point. More photos and a preview of how fast it goes. But first, a disturbing mystery on a beach in Malibu. That plastic barrel had been floating around for 2 days until someone finally looked inside. The story's next.